this week, CoinDesk is exploring the crypto industry's biggest themes based on conversations that we had at Consensus 2023. Here now to discuss the Consensus at Consensus report is CoinDesk technology reporter Frederick Munawa. Hello, Frederick. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Morning, Jen. Happy to be here.
All right. Tell us about your chapter. It's called Privacy, Transparency, and Law Enforcement. Where is the path to equilibrium? What issues does this chapter address?
Basically, I wrote this article with our executive director of Consensus, and the article attempts to, determine whether or not we can achieve a balance between individual privacy on one hand, and on the other hand, the need for transparency in order to, comply with laws and prevent crime. So that's basically the overarching theme for that article.
You know, you write in the article, privacy and criminality share an uncomfortably intimate existence, not least of all in crypto. Can you explain what you mean by this?
Well, I think the intro to the article discusses, things like Silk Road. A lot of people don't realize that one reason Bitcoin became popular was because of, this website, which was involved in all kinds of illicit activity. And that's one way Bitcoin gained mass adoption. And so because of that, law enforcement is kind of very suspicious about not just Bitcoin, but crypto in general. So that's that uncomfortable existence where crypto does have a use case, especially Bitcoin, but the roots of crypto are kind of shady. So that's kind of where that intro comes from.
So we look here at, the problem, but the solutions. What you talk to a bunch of experts. What do they say is the solution here that deals with, trying to fight crime on the one hand, or at least helping people fight crime on the other hand, letting people keep their privacy?
So the solutions were split into three main buckets. I would say policy, technology, and then risk-based approaches. So one solution that you might be familiar with, that everyone might be familiar with, when you log onto a website and you see that cookie notice, do you want to allow cookies? So GDPR, right? So GDPR is a privacy-friendly legislation that was introduced in Europe. And that's one thing that all the experts who attended this talk were very supportive of. Another thing was technology. So we've got things like zero knowledge proofs. We've got technologies like homomorphic encryption and verified credentials. So that's another solution to allowing people to have privacy, but also making sure that people have the option to comply with the law. So both privacy friendly and compliance friendly. And then the last thing that people talked about was using a risk-based approach, where instead of, just surveilling and tracking everyone's financial data, these financial institutions or crypto institutions track specific individuals who exhibit high risk, like high value transactions, for example. So those are some of the solutions.
Those are the solutions. What are the challenges ahead? What were some of these privacy experts outlining as the challenges that need to be addressed?
Yes, one big thing that people talked about was how technology is outpacing regulation. And when I say technology, I mean surveillance technology. So think about things like facial recognition and AI and all these tools that governments and banks have at their disposal. They can use those to surveil and track people. But the legislation is stuck in the 70s. And there's an example that I gave in the article that talks about how large cash transactions from the 1970 Bank Secrecy Act are designated as transactions over 10,000, right? So that was 53 years ago. 10,000 in 1970 would be something like 80,000 today, but the threshold is still, 10,000 from 1970. So those are some of the challenges where you have regulation, really slow, but surveillance technology developing at an exponential rate.
Frederick, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
That was CoinDesk technology reporter Frederick Munawa.